Okay, for the few I have waiting, we got on a little bit early. I'm not going to have the play-by-play. I don't have the JV statistics, but we're going to give you the last 6 minutes of the Ladysmith Cameron girls basketball game. Cameron's up 47-27, and once this game is over, we'll have our normal 15-minute break before the girls varsity game, where we'll play a few commercials. It doesn't look like the band's going to be here tonight, so we'll go through the stats of our varsity girls. But for now, enjoy the girls JV last 6 minutes. Okay, got the conclusion of the girls' JV basketball game. Comets on top, 59-29. A convincing win for this JV squad. Down in the corner, we have the varsity girls. Ooh. Ready to go. Timer's going to be set for 15 minutes. And warm-ups are about to begin. We will do our introductions.
We keep you connected.
We spark young minds.
We keep you safe on the road.
We keep you healthy.
We respond when it matters most.
We are Northwood Tech.
Okay, as we scan over the warm-ups, welcome to a Monday night, a very cold Monday night in Cameron, Wisconsin. Temp outside is 7 below. So I'm thinking a lot of people stayed home, but the stands are filling up as we speak. I'm kind of surprised at the amount of people here with the temperature outside. Fortunately, tomorrow we're supposed to break above zero anyway to 8 degrees, but what we got to keep an eye on is Thursday night, Friday morning, Friday night. We're looking at lows of 21 below on Thursday night and a high of minus 10 for Friday. So I'm guessing Thursday night the Comets are going to be on the road, and they're going to be facing Cumberland. I'm going to say right now I'm pretty confident that game's going to go, but definitely pay attention for Friday when our highs are below 10 below with the wind chill. I'm going to question if school's going to make it, and if school's canceled, I wouldn't doubt that Friday night's game at McDonald Central might be postponed as well, but we'll have to stay tuned later in the week for that one. Tonight's opponent for the Comets, the Ladysmith Lumberjills. So far this year, they're 9-4. 7-2 in the heart of the North, so they are sitting at number 3 in the heart of the North. This year, the Lumberjills are led by Lila Gago, a freshman, leading in rebounds and points, scoring on average 13.2 points a game and bringing down 8.4 boards per game. Following right behind her is her sister Marika Gago, 12.9 points a game and 7.5 rebounds, so that combination is going to be something to watch tonight. Rounding out their top scorers is a Braley, and I'm going to call it Willis. I'm going to get the pronunciation on that one She's averaging just over 10 points a game. The Lumberjills coming off a 6-game winning streak. Their last loss was to Hayward Hurricanes, 69-52, but they've been red hot in the last 6 games. Coming up for Ladysmith, after tonight, Thursday night, they got St. Croix Falls, and next Tuesday night, they travel to Barron. And for the Cameron Comets, those of you that watched the game on Friday night, tough game with the Hayward Hurricanes. It was for the sole lead of the Heart of the North, and unfortunately the Comets came up short. I watched that game. It was a battle throughout. The Comets had to foul at the end, and Hayward ended up winning 62-52, but I'm going to tell you, it was a 2 to 4 point game until the end, and the Hurricanes came out on top. So the Hurricanes are atop the Heart of the North. Cameron's only chance is to pay them back when they come back here in February. But the Comets, 9-3 overall. They're having a great season. 8-1 the conference, sitting at solo number 2. Since I last talked to you, they made the trip up to Ashland, 92-21. And last time we were here, we were at home, and they really shut the Jets down in the second half and still came up ahead of Barron 64-22. As I mentioned before, ahead for the Comets, Thursday night they're going to travel to Cumberland. Cumberland they faced here in Cameron already, beat them handily 79-32. But we can all remember last season's heartbreaker with Chippewa Falls McDonald in the sectional, where Cameron came up a point short to move on. McDonald, 12-2, are waiting, and I'm sure looking forward to a rematch with the Comets. That was quite a battle last year. That is for Friday night, but again, stay tuned with the weather. I don't doubt if it stays as cold as they're saying, that might be a postponement. But we'll be back with you. I'll tell you again at the end of the broadcast. Next Tuesday night, Northwestern's coming down here. They are 7-3 in the conference. They are solo number 4 in the conference. Last time we went up there, we beat them 64-55, but that was a good game, a 9-point win. I am going to touch on Hayward Hurricanes game from Friday night. The leading scorer, Bridget Mones, was out sick. Bridget averaging just under 15 points a game. Very good at handling the ball. Pressure defense, comes up with a lot of steals, a lot of loose balls. Definitely a factor in that game. And I can't help but think if Bridget was there, that might have been a win for the Comets. But we have to play through the adversity. Following Mones in scoring, Aggie Schmidt, a freshman, averaging 14 points a game and 3.1 assists per game. She is making an impact in her freshman year for the Cameron Comets starting, and I can't tell you how big of a feat that is to leave 8th grade basketball, and now you're on a basketball court with kids 4 years older than you. So she's doing a fine job her freshman year, scoring defensively, offensively, fun to watch. Third in scoring, Bailey Olson, running about 11.5 points a game, down from the past couple years. There definitely seem to be spreading out the scoring this year. A lot more people shooting around the arc and a lot of fast breaks going on. So Bailey's still up there in the scoring, also averaging 2.5 assists per game. Rounding out the top in scoring is Inez Schmidt. Inez averaging 10 points per game and leading the team in assists, actually, in just under 4 assists per game. So Inez doing very well this year, and it's nice to see 4 of the 5 starters double digits. Again, that makes a team very hard to stop. Rebounding, we called it at the beginning of the year. Not surprised, Anna Baraboo averaging just over 9 rebounds a game. She came off a Hayward game with a very impressive double-double, 15 points, 15 rebounds. So she had a good game up in Hayward. She was definitely a force underneath. Following up in rebounds, Inez Schmidt averaging just under 8 rebounds a game, And Aggie Schmidt following that up with just under 7 rebounds a game. So the Comets definitely are putting up some good numbers this year. They got a great record. But I do think Ladysmith is not forgotten the loss they suffered to the hands of the Comets, and they are definitely looking to pay that back tonight. So we're going to pause for some advertisements. I'm going to get some name pronunciations correct. So I do the Lumberjills justice tonight, and we'll be back with you.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
Okay, back with you. We got just under 2 minutes before the national anthem this evening. And now it's time for the tale of the tape with the Lumberjills versus the Comets. Comets averaging 65 points a game. The Lumberjills averaging 60 points a game, so Comets averaging a little bit more per game there. Comets also hitting a better three-point percentage, but the free throw percentage belongs to the Lumberjills, shooting about 15% better at the free throw line. Rebounding is pretty even per game between the two teams. Assists per game are pretty even, but the Comets coming up with a few more steals per game, and the Lumberjills hitting a few more blocks per game. So, unfortunately for the Comets, they have a few less turnovers per game. So there's one of the few categories you do want to be lower in. As we get ready to hear the national anthem this evening. I know she sang this for the boys' game. I'm glad to see her back for the girls' game, but we're going to be treated here in 30 seconds with Addison Lambrecht, a 6th grader here at the Cameron Middle School. And I give her all the credit in the world having the courage to come out here and sing the national anthem for the big crowd here in Cameron. So 6th grader Addison Lambrecht is going to lead us in the national anthem.
At this time, to honor America and those defending our freedom, please stand, remove your hats, and listen to Cameron 6th grader Addison Lambrecht for singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you sing by the dawn's early light? What so proudly hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Well, I'm only going to say I hope that came through as clearly for you as it was for me here inside this gymnasium. Beautiful job by Addison Lambrecht. We got the starting lineups getting read off for the Ladysmith Lumberjills. Led off by number 1, Maya Gago, followed by number 3, Courtney Millen, number 4, Braylee Wiles, number 5, Lila Gago, a freshman, and number 13, Marika Gago. So if I'm correct, on the Ladysmith team, they are starting 3 Gago sisters. For the Comets, leading off, number 2, Aggie Schmidt, a freshman. Her sister, Inez Schmidt, number 11. Bailey Olson, number 13, a junior. The only senior, number 24, Anna Baraboo. And good to see Bridget Mullins back in the lineup, number 34, a junior, and the leading scorer for the Comets. So I think we're in for a really good game tonight. I think Ladysmith is going to battle these Comets well. They were tough in Ladysmith, and I'm sure they're going to be tough again here in Cameron. Jump between Marika and Inez. Be calling some of these by the first name because we have 3 Gagos on one side, 2 Schmitz, and 2 Moens on the other side. So we'll be using some first names tonight. Comets take control of the jump, but a quick turnover. Couldn't quite get it out in front to Aggie. And the Lumberjills set up. Maya on the outside. Works it over to Wiles. Lila Gago on top, working it around. Heavy pressure by Bridget Moens. Aggie Schmidt with the interception. Takes it coast to coast. Comes off the glass a little too hard. Moens almost had her hand on that rebound. A little too far. Got out of her hand and out of bounds. Lumberjills back on the attack. Maya Gago, number 1, bringing it up. Aggie Schmidt guarding her on top. Lumberjills start working it in. Work around the perimeter for an outside 3 from Wiles. She hits it. Nice looking shot. Lumberjills up 3-0. Bailey Olson back the other way. Sees a gap up the middle, takes it right in. Nice little floater. Comets right back on the board with 2. Lumberjills move it down quick to Marika Gago. She goes baseline, fouled. Quick transition by the Lumberjills. And an early foul on Bailey Olson. Marika shooting 1. And she hits it. Lumberjills up 6-2 already. Looks like it's going to be a fast-paced game on both sides. Comets down, working it around. Olson takes a look. Moens on top. Over to Baraboo. On top to Inez. Inez back to Bailey Olson. Bailey drives again. Nice little spin move. Fires it up. Comes up a little bit short off the rim. Baraboo comes in. Fights for the board. Jump ball. Excellent job coming in. It was Baraboo versus 3 inside. Got her hands on it enough to say it's a jump ball. Next one will go to the Comets. This one to the Lumberjills. Lumberjills come down again. They appear to be working the ball around pretty good. A lot of movement away from the ball. Moens appears to be face guarding on Lila Gago. Pass inside, picked off by Anna Baraboo, and Bridget Moens brings it up the court. Inez on top, over to Bridget for 3. Oh, nice to see her back out and hitting the 3 out of the chute. Comets only down by 1. Lumberjills around for another 3. That one long. Aggie Schmidt ahead. Aggie looks, passes it through traffic into Anna Baraboo. Beautiful pass. She had Inez in front, but a lot better pass, better angle on the basket for Anna Baraboo. Aggie found her. Excellent assist. Beautiful transition basketball. Comets up 7-6. Lumberjills working it around inside, got their own rebound. Firing another 3. Comets back on the rebound. Inez Schmidt had it, got tied up there. Lumberjills the other way. Marika in off the backboard a little too hard. Rebound to Aggie Schmidt, and she drives down quickly. Oh, a nice. It had the look of what they call that Euro step, where she got that longer stride in there, got the 2 steps up off the glass. A beautiful move by Aggie Schmidt, and she is fouled. First foul on Braylee Wiles. Aggie at the line, hits it. A 3-point play for Aggie Schmidt. Comets quickly back up ahead 10-6. But the Lumberjills moving the ball really well. Comets, though, exploding every time they get the ball. Lumberjills working around. Maya on top with it. Tried to get it inside to her sister Marika. Comets stop it. They kick it out back to Marika, but the inside pass picked off by Aggie Schmidt. A little bit too much baseline, and foot hit the line. Back to the Lumberjills. Marika inbounding. A nice Cut to the basket there by Courtney Millen, but couldn't quite get it. Comets out running again. Looks like a 3-on-2 over to Baraboo. Oh, nice left-handed layup. And the Lumberjills want a timeout to talk about it. A 30-second timeout, so we're not going to go to a commercial here. We don't want to miss any of the action when they come back out. Comets jump out to a quick 12-6 lead. They were down 6-2, so an impressive 10-0 run by the Comets here. Primarily by that up-tempo offense that they run so well. I'm not guessing Coach Wanek for the Comets was making too many changes down there. The Comets looking really good offensively and defensively out there. Comets coached by Chloe Wanek and assisted by Peyton Teefs, who took on a role with just the varsity this year, and Andrew Davis came up to help with JV. Nick Wanek down on the bench helping out, along with Maddie Sievert. Lumberjills in the game, working it around. Marika Gago with a 3 and hits it. It looks like the Lumberjills is going to be shooting some outside shots today, and so far not doing too bad. 12-9 Comets as they work it around. Aggie setting up off corner. Inez on top. Peyton Sievert entered the game, number 33 for the Comets. Bridget Moans taking a breather. Bailey Olson with a spin drive into the middle again. Comes up short off the rim. Lumberjills with a rebound, and down they come. Keeping the tempo going. Nice inside pass. Off the glass, she gets her own rebound. Maya Gago and puts it back up. That's the definition of following your shot in basketball. Great job by her, and just like that, was a well-used timeout. They're back in the game. It's 12-11. Bailey Olson for 3, and that was a deep one. That was outside, probably 5 to 6 feet beyond the three-point line, but they gave it to her, and she took it. Maya Gago back, kind of leading the offense down there, working it around. Back to Maya over on the corner. Works it up top to Millen. Millen drives, kicks it over to Wiles. Off on the three-point this time. Rebound Baraboo. Bailey Olson pushes it back up the court. Continues to drive. Kind of ran into, can't argue that call. Lila Gago was standing there waiting for her. Bailey went in looking for the contact, maybe a foul, but I didn't see which one was right next to her, but the one next to her, it would have been a foul, but with Lila standing there waiting for Bailey to come, that wasn't offensive, and actually that's 2 on Bailey already. She's going to have to be careful. Coach has already brought her to the bench, and Bridget Moans back out. Lumberjills working it around again, trying to get it inside. Lumberjills have subbed in. Ellison Tucker, number 21, is in the game for the Lumberjills. Comets bring it down. Aggie drives. Bridget to the middle. Loses a handle when she got in between a couple there. She lost a handle, and the Lumberjills come up with it. Lila Gago coming down. Penetrates, dishes it off to Tucker. Tucker with a nice little inside shot, and just like that, we got us a tie ball game at 15 apiece. And it's a full timeout for the Comets this time. So we're going to hear from one of our sponsors.
My friends know me as Derek. My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
It's always good to have the sponsorship, the Air Force, Air National Guard. Excellent place to start. Excellent college programs, and for those that have served, can't thank you enough for your service. Back in action, Comets with the ball. Tie ball game. 15 all with 11:30 left on the clock. Sievert on top, working it around to Schmidt. Schmidt drives. Well, they called her for the offensive, I think, because it looked like she dropped her shoulder. I don't think the girl beat her to the spot. I think she kind of did work her way through it. Lumberjills quickly back on the other end. Lila Gago brings it down, penetrates, and in. Comets wasting no time coming back, though. Their offense runs very well when they're running fast. Kicks it over the side. Sievert for three. Hits her first three. Comets doing well beyond the arc so far tonight. Lumberjills down. Marika tries to work it around, works it up to the top to Maya. Maya works it around. It looks like Bristol Potasic is in now, number 10. So seeing a little bit of subbing going on for the Lumberjills. Tucker drives around, had looked at a three, but then passed it off. Potasic passes it around. They find Marika inside. She loses a handle, but fortunately for her, she lost it off the foot of Aggie Schmidt. Marika to inbound for the Lumberjills. Well, she finds her sister Lila and in for two. Comets back. Moans brings it down, has an open look for three, gets a shot. Baraboo with the rebound, doesn't go. Lumberjills this time, coming right back down the floor. Lila Gaga with a nice move, drive to the basket. And in for two more. Lumberjills now with a 3-point lead on the Comets. Comets come back quickly again. Inez Schmidt on top, works it around. Aggie Schmidt over to Moans in the corner. She thinks about it. Aggie works it around to Peyton Sievert. Sievert on top. Oh, loses a handle. It looked like Moans got it back, but was fouled at the same time. Bailey Olson coming back in for the Comets, giving Inez Schmidt a rest. In for the Lumberjills, number 25, Brooklyn Smith, a senior. And out came Tucker. Comets working around the top. Sievert tried to lob it over the top to Olson. Kind of got tipped, a little contact there. Looked like it probably was on number 5. It was. Lila Gago, I think that's her first. Bailey Olson to inbound for the Comets. Inbound to Aggie Schmidt. Over to Olson, back to Aggie. Sievert on top, works it over to Moans. Moans thinks about it. Drives, nice step in. Oh, got the roll. A very nice step around the defender and got it up and in off the glass. Beautiful move. Comets down by 1 still. Lila Gago on top and another drive right to the hoop. This time it doesn't fall. Moans with a nice rebound. Clears it out, hustles down. Comets set up, over to Olson, back to Moans. Moans thinks about it. Nothing going to happen. Bailey Olson fires a 3 that was probably out the 8 foot beyond the line mark. Actually came up a little bit hard off the back of the iron. Rebound came down to Sievert, and a Lumberjill jump ball goes to the Comets this time. Olson to inbound. To Inez Schmidt. Inez with a nice drive. Well, they're calling Schmidt with that little move she's doing. It's almost a little bit of a push-off is kind of the way they're making it sound. They're making it sound like she gets that left arm extended to give herself some room for the shot. It's, well, it's a nice move. Unfortunately, she's gotten caught twice, and she's got 2. Lumberjills bringing it down. Lila Gago on top. Almost threw it away, so it was picked off, but gathered back up. Marika Gago with it on the baseline now. Oh, a nice cut by Lila. She swung around. Marika got her the ball, and up off the glass she went. Comets worked the ball ahead to Inez. Inez with a quick move. And Marika could not get there in time. And this time, foul went the other way, and Inez goes to the line. First one in for Inez. She's got one more. Came up short on her second. Comets putting a little bit of pressure on defense. Aggie Schmidt very quick. Looks like Layla Gago is fairly quick herself. Inez Schmidt on the rebound. Comets all hustle down. Open on top of the key was Sievert for a three. Comes up short. Rebounded to Schmidt. Doesn't go in. Next rebound is to Schmidt. Over to Moens for a three. Comes off the back of the iron. Loose ball. Moens comes up with it. Inez Schmidt with a quick jumper and hits it. And they said she was behind the line, so three-pointer for Inez, and that was a really quick shot. Oh, Tucker with a three-point shot, and that's not coming down. Oh, it fell on its own. Well, that was fortunate. Not much was happening. Not sure how that ball was going to come, but fortunately it fell on its own. So that then turns into what appears to be a jump ball, which this time is with the Lumberjills. So Maya Gago back in the game. Marika tried to feed it into Millen, but Aggie Schmidt was having nothing to do with that. Tipped it out of bounds. Brooklyn Smith back in the game. Into Wiley's. Marika Gago gets it back on top, works it around to her sister Maya. Maya with a nice little floater in the middle inside the free throw line for two. And we are going back and forth, exchanging the lead. Moens brings it up, top to Schmidt. Schmidt down to Baraboo, back on top to Moens, inside to Baraboo. Nice little step around move, try and go up, fouled. Looks like Brooklyn Smith fouled her that time. I think that's her first. Baraboo's got two of them at the free throw line. Baraboo also, so far, the leading free throw percentage shooter on the team, and I'm afraid I might have jinxed her with that one. Well, she got 1 out of 2. We got a tie ball game at 25, and Lumberjills coming back down the court. Maya Gago tried to get it over to Wiley's on the side. Schmidt got a hand on it, and her hand into Wiley's hand, and it was off Wiley's out of bounds. Comet ball. Olsen brings it down over to Moens, on top to Schmidt, back to Moens. Moens looked around. They're playing some pretty good defense, extending it out even beyond the three-point line, but the way the Comets have been shooting threes, I don't blame them. Bailey Olsen goes in, drive, doesn't come up with anything. Aggie Schmidt in the drive, comes up a little bit short, out to an open Bailey Olsen. That's usually her shot. Out to Aggie Schmidt. Fortunately, the Comets have got a number of rebounds, but couldn't get it to fall. Marika Gago bringing it up just past half court. Gets rid of it. Over to Millen. She drives, looks around. As she was pivoting, one too many steps. Marika Kago coming out, getting her, I think, first breather of the game, and Lila coming in. Moans came out, and we got Quinn Grassman in, another freshman. Olsen on top, inside to Grassman. She lost the handle, or she was going right to the basket, and it was open. Good call there. I wasn't sure if they'd see that when they went to the inbound pass to Baraboo. Baraboo got shoved from behind. I don't know if she was going to get that one or not, but she definitely got pushed. That one was on Brooklyn Smith. That's her second, and the coach brings her out. Comets to inbound. On top to Aggie, over to Inez. Inez, top of the key, works it over to Aggie. Aggie thinks about driving, kicks it back to Inez. Inez looked like she was going to set a screen, kind of rolls off it, looks for the give and go. It's not there. Back to Aggie for three. Not there. Quinn Grassman in. Nice rebound, kicks it out to Anna Baraboo for about 12-footer. She hits it. Nice shot by Baraboo. Maya Gago then coming the other direction. Immediate drive. Throws up kind of a one-handed floater and gets it to roll. Quinn Grassman with that foul. Her first. Prior to this free throw, it's 27-all. And just like that, the Lumberjills take the lead with 4.5 minutes left in the game. Aggie Schmidt down the court. Over to Olsen, to Grassman, back to Olsen. Over to Aggie. Aggie comes baseline. Nothing there. Ball's getting worked around again. Schmidt running it from the top of the key. Baraboo kind of getting held up. Needs somebody to come to her. Schmidt bails her out on top. Passes it over to Bailey Olsen. Baraboo from just inside the arc. A little bit right. Quinn Grassman scraps for the ball and comes up with a jump ball. Comets get it this time. Marika back in the game. Wiley's comes out. Aggie Schmidt on top, thinking about going. Nothing there. Over to Grassman, to Inez. Bailey Olsen spots up a three. A little bit hard off the glass. Maya Gago on the fast break decides to pull out instead. Kicks it out for a three. Lila missed the three, hard off the glass. Long rebound to Baraboo. The lane she was looking at got plugged up right before she threw it and turned it over. Lumberjills back right away. Marika with the three, and it's good. Out to a 4-point lead. Bailey Olsen with the drive, spin, thinks about it. No. Baraboo takes a step in. The shot comes a little bit too deep. Rebound Aggie Schmidt. She went up but was fouled. So Aggie to the line for two. Looks like that was on Marika, her second foul. A nice roll for Aggie. Grassman coming out of the game. Bridget Moans back in. So the Comets right now with their starting five in the game with just over 3 minutes remaining. Aggie hits a pair of them. Comets down by two. Maya Gago bringing the ball up. Aggie covering her right out to half court. Swarming defense. Gets it over to Layla, over to Marika. That actually was some impressive passing. Cuts to the basket. Marika finished very nicely. Nice play by the Lumberjills. Bailey Olsen comes down, kicks it over to Moans. On top to Schmidt. She cuts in, thinks about it. Moans has a look. Comes off the back of that iron again. Maya Gago bringing it down, but Bridget Moans with her speed picked her pocket coming from the back. Comet ball. Inez setting up on top again, kind of the pivot person on top. Working it into Anna Baraboo. Nothing doing there. Ladysmith ball. Maya brings it down, fires it ahead to Marika. Spots up for the three. thought about it, changed her mind, put it on the ground, traveled. Baraboo's going to take a breather. Peyton Sievert back in the game. Moans works it over to Schmidt, into Sievert. Sievert not afraid to drive. She goes up hard. Fouled on the way up by Lila Gago. Her second foul. Sievert's got 2 coming from the line. And she gets the roll. One out of 2 for Sievert. Comets down by 3. Maya Gago fires it over to Layla. She's covered by Sievert. Schmidt is all over Maya. Layla works it over back to Maya. They hit Patasek in the middle. Wiley's for the 3. No good. Comets got the ball, lost the handle, went off her foot, just could not track it down. Turnover. Inez Schmidt is going to have a seat. And number 5, Abby Olson, in for the Comets. Lumberjill's working it around. He's got an open look. Wiley's for 3. She did not draw anything on that one. Moans with the rebound, saved it from going out, brings it down. Comet set up. Aggies on the baseline, on top to Moans. Over to Bailey Olson. Bailey thinks about driving in off the screen. Nothing doing. Turned, ran into Maya Gago. Her hands were right there, got him on the ball, and she got it away from her. Turnover, Comets. Maya Gago on top. Thinks about driving. Nothing doing there. Flips it over to Layla. Had to debate what was going to happen there. That was quite a collision with Lila. She came in pretty hard. Bailey Olson had planted. And offensive foul on Lila, and that's her 3rd. So I kind of figured she might be coming out so she don't draw a 4th in the last 42 seconds, and Marika's back in the game. Aggie brings it down. Moans on the corner. Back to Schmidt. Over to Sievert. Baseline 3. Comes up a little short off the front of the rim. Rebound to Moans. Kicks it out to Bailey Olson for a 3. No doing there. Back to Sievert baseline. Another 3. This one off the rim again. Comets were trying to tie it. Couldn't get it to fall. Lumberjills looking at the clock, 7 seconds. Maya Gago with it, over to Marika. Marika with a deep 3, in and out. So an excellent first half, lead changes. Too many to count. We got a 10-minute intermission. Comets down by 3. I'm going to get you some halftime statistics while you guys hear a word from our sponsors. Okay, Comets down 33-30. Checking out the scoring in the first half for the Ladysmith Lumberjills. Marika Gago, she hit 2 threes. She's got 12 points, leading the Lumberjills. Lila Gago, a freshman, 8 points. And Maya Gago has 7. So what I believe is the three sisters, they are definitely controlling the scoring. Ellison Tucker also has 2 for the Lumberjills. For the Cameron Comets, a very balanced scoring, and it's kind of consistent with how they are. Anna Baraboo leading all the Comets with 7. Aggie Schmidt has 5. Bailey Olson has 5. Bridget Mones has 5. Inez Schmidt has 4. And Peyton Sievert has 4. So very balanced scoring for the Comets, kind of just like they have in every game. We just are in the second half are going to need a little bit more of it. Again, if you weren't here at the beginning of the broadcast, the next game for the Cameron Comets is going to be Thursday at Cumberland. So you'll be able to catch that, I would guess, on the Huddle Cam for Cumberland. Last time the Comets faced the Cumberland Beavers, they won 79-32. So pretty convincing win there. And Friday, the Comets would be traveling to Chippewa Falls McDonald Central, who is 12-2, having another good season. And McDonald is who ended the run for the Comets last year in the sectionals. So definitely a game the Comets would love to have back. But stay tuned for weather updates as far as that game. I wouldn't be surprised if school, by chance, if the lows are as low as what they say it's going to be, school could easily be canceled because with wind chills, it's going to drive it down in that 40 below range. Thursday night, they're talking about 21 below. Friday night, 25 below. And a high of Friday right now, they're saying 10 below, and that's without the wind chill. So definitely be careful out there. Bundle up. Be sure you have a jacket, hat, gloves in a vehicle because the vehicles themselves don't like to run in that kind of weather. Tonight she's a chilly one, but at least tomorrow we're supposed to get back above the 0 point. So going to be nice. The sun's out, that helps. If the wind is not out, that helps. We will be back here with you next Tuesday night. Northwestern's coming back. That is youth night. So going to have all the youth basketball players here and their coaches. They'll be recognized. I'm not sure what they're going to have them do. I've seen them play a little bit of basketball. I've seen them just come out on the court and be introduced. That's usually the night that the varsity girls have their picture they have taken, where we set up some tables outside and they autograph all their pictures for the youth, kind of just trying to keep the excitement in the program. And for the kids looking up to some of these basketball players, it's fun for them. So again, that's next Tuesday against Northwestern. Northwestern, 7-3 in the conference, ranked number 4 overall. When we went up there this year already, we beat them 64-55. But just like Ladysmith, I'm sure they didn't forget it. We beat them last time. And tonight you can see they're here to play basketball. Got a lot of fire in the Lumberjills this evening. For those of you wondering about Ladysmith, Thursday night, they have St. Croix Falls at home, and next Tuesday, they travel to Barron. So Ladysmith's got a home game on Thursday. We got about just under 3 minutes left before the start of the second half. Comets trickling out onto the court. Lumberjills still in the locker room making plans for the second half. You got time to run to the fridge, run to the bathroom, and be back for the start of the second half. I will be back with you.
Everyone knows me as Maddie, but here I'm Master Sergeant Hefner.
You can't stop this. Ha. So let's go.
This is my life in the Air National Guard.
You can't stop this. Never. Let's go.
Northwoods Tech, a proud sponsor of We Are Cameron. Good to have them on. Excellent programs down there at the technical school. I was able to get a CDL driver's license through that program. They do an excellent program for Class A, Class B, over-the-road truck drivers. Have a lot of other apprenticeship programs at a much lower rate than the average colleges. So definitely excellent to have here in the middle of Barron County up in Rice Lake, the Northwoods Tech program. So the officials are ready for the second half. Comets down by 3. We're going to see if any changes were made. We got the original starters on the court for both teams. Ladysmith has the ball to start the second half. Maya assesses things on top. It looks like the Comets are kind of staying home a little bit more on defense. They're kind of staying by that three-point line, not chasing quite as far out. I like the changes they've made, what I see so far. Clogs up the inside. They tried to get it in to Millen. And Moens had her hands on it, along with Aggie Schmidt and some others. They closed up those inside passing lanes. Moens causes the jump ball turnover. Comets ball. The Comets set up. See what they got for an offense now. They work it around to Aggie Schmidt. Aggie with a nice move to the basket, but Millen, as Schmidt went up, got her hand on it with the block. Stripped it away from her. Lumberjill's ball. Lila Gago on top. Passes it over to Wiley's on top to Maya Gago. And again, Comets not chasing as far, keeping their defense tighter inside. I like what I see. Maya Gago on top, working around to Wiley's again. Back to Maya, looks over to Layla, and the Lumberjills are being patient. Kind of a give and go from Maya to Lila there. Back to Maya and a nice floater off the backboard. The Lumberjills up 35-30. Comets working around, kind of screen and roll. Aggie Schmidt looks to drive, nothing doing. Inez comes in with a nice floater off the backboard. Doesn't go. Rebound, Aggie Schmidt. Kicks it over to Bridget. Bridget with a nice drive. A lot of contact there, so it was going to be hard to get that in the basket effectively, but Moens is fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2. And she gets the first one to roll in. That foul was on Millen, actually her first. In and out for Moens on her second one. She's 1 of 2. Comets get back on defense. And the Lumberjills set up, working it around again. Maya Gago again on the corner point. Working top to Wiley's. Again, Maya Gago's kind of planting up here on the corner. Over to Layla. She thinks about driving. Nothing doing. Maya again hanging out up here. Comets not chasing like they did in the first half. They found the back door there from Gago to Wiley on a cut. Comets work it down though. Open, wide open from the corner is Moans, and she hits a nice looking three. It's going to be nice to see the Comets if they get some open looks starting to drain them. Going to make this a good game. 37-34, Lumberjills up. Lumberjills again being very patient on the outside. And what they've done the last two times is they've hit a cutter. They got into Marika Gago. She takes a turnaround jumper hard off the glass. Not a great shot. Aggie Schmidt coast to coast, and man, she sliced right through the defense there, went through untouched and finished. Comets down by 1. Again, kind of setting up outside. Every time they think about driving, the Comets shut it off. Maya Gago staying well above the three-point line. Finds Millen cutting. Millen almost had it, but Inez Schmidt kicked it away. Gago tried the three, no go. She gets the rebound. They work it around. Millen sneaks in behind him and gets another basket. Comets working it around. Moans with a nice drive to the basket. She gets through and it opened up for her. Finished well. Comets right back at him. Definitely seeing some different looks on offense for both teams and defense this second half. Comets again staying home inside that three-point line. Lumberjills seemingly patient on the outside, tried to get it in. No go, Baraboo with the ball. Tried to get it over to Inez Schmidt, but that wasn't happening. Lost it. It was a 3-on-1, and the Lumberjills made them pay for that one. Comets bring it down. Aggie over to Inez. Inez kicks it over to Olsen. Out to Moans. Moans hits another three. That ties it up at 41. If her hand can stay hot, that's going to be a big factor in this game. I like the fact the Comets aren't chasing way out beyond that three-point line. Moans thinks about picking off a long pass, just wasn't quite there. Layla Gagne working around the top of the key, thinking about trying to get it in. Lumberjills have been sneaking in behind the defense. Millen and Baraboo tying it up. Pretty tough inside there. Lila Gago drives, nothing there, over to Maya. Back up top to Wiley's. On top to Maya. Lumberjills showing a lot of patience here. Lila Gago around the top. Baseline, three, nope. They work it inside to Millen. Millen turns to go up. Inez with the block, but caught her with the body. Millen's going to be shooting two for Inez Schmidt. That's her third. I wouldn't say she's in foul trouble, but has three. Coach is going to give her a break. Peyton Sievert in for her. 1 out of 2 for the Lumberjills, and Aggie Schmidt with the rebound and quickly back down the court. Over to Anna Baraboo. Bridget for a three. Off the side, Sievert's right there. Looked like she got hit on the arm on shooting that one, but no call. Lumberjills the other way. Good defense by Moens there on Maya Gago. She gives it up. Layla on top. Looking for a screen. Millen rolled, but no doing. Into Marika, out to Lila for three. A little bit long. Moans positions herself perfectly for that rebound, and here she comes. On top to Sievert, back to Moans, inside to Baraboo. Baraboo goes to the middle, tries a jumper, and is fouled. Wiley's caught her forearm there on the way up. Baraboo's got two with the Comets down by one. And we got a tie ball game at 42 with 11:20 left in the game. And Comets see their first lead of the second half, 43-42. Lumberjills moved it up past half court. Maya Gago really spreading it out. Layla on top with the ball, over to the corner to Maya. On top to Marika. She's taking her time on top, over to Maya, back to Marika, over to Layla. Sievert all over her when she gets close to that line. When they get to the three-point line, the Comets are on them. Lumberjills take a timeout. Just a 30-second timeout, so we're not going to go to a commercial break. Don't quite have enough time. I don't want you to miss any of the basketball game. Comets looking really good in this second half. Their defense kind of staying home inside is preventing much, although the Lumberjills are very patient. They've been able to get the ball over the top inside on some backdoor cuts and some rolls. So they're handling it pretty well, but the Comets look really good. Offensively, they've been taking it to the hoop. And both teams very fast. Both teams, I know, have a lot of track athletes, cross-country athletes. So definitely plays in when you got several players on both sides of the court that are excellent track and cross-country runners. And it's pretty obvious when they start running this floor. So the Lumberjills coming out of the timeout. We're going to see what they're doing. Brooklyn Smith in on top. She was kind of setting a screen for Maya Gago. She's doing it again, but Maya didn't use it the first time. Layla on top. Over to Marika. Trying to get it in. Layla comes in. A nice one-hander off the backboard. And Ladysmith takes the lead by one. Bones on top. Works it around to Aggie. Aggie thinks the ball going. Sievert fakes a three. Starts the drive. Gets pushed. Marika Gago with the push on that one. That's her third. Bailey Olson to inbound. Comets working around for the ball. It went to Aggie, but she lost the handle. Moans came up with it. Got tied up. Jump ball goes to the Lumberjills. Lumberjills ahead by one. And Inez Schmidt getting ready to check back in the game. Lumberjills again working around the outside. Maya Gago on top, over to Layla in the corner. Gets Smith down on the side. She tries to drive, loses control. Baraboo comes up with it. Bailey Olson in for a long two, hits it. Comets jump ahead by one. Smith appears to be coming up top to set screens. We just got to get the other girls to use them when she comes up. Tucker, the other one in the game. And Marika Gago leading scoring for the Lumberjills. Fires a three, misses. A little bit of contact down there in the corner. They call a foul on Sievert. Kind of looked like they were both going for the ball. They said Sievert pushed her. coach was in my way. I couldn't quite see if that's in fact what happened or they just kind of tangled up going for it. Either way, fouls on Sievert. Inbound, Ladysmith. Marika gets it into Wiley's. Back to Marika. Marika with a nice drive. Floater to the back. I thought that was going. Inez Schmidt with the rebound. Comets come the other way. Bridget Moans has an open look from 3. Off the rim. Sievert tried to save it. Moans tried to save it. They come up empty-handed, and it's Ladysmith ball. Wiley left alone at the three-point line. Comets didn't quite transition back there. She got an open look for a 3, took it, and got it. Sievert with a nice drive. She's fouled. Wiley's, after just hitting the 3, comes down. She's charged with the foul, her 3rd. Sievert hits 1 out of 2. Comets still down by 1. Lumberjills bring the ball up. Again, extending their offense. They're quite a ways behind that three-point line. Trying to get something going inside. Working around the outside. Marika on the top corner. Over to Layla. Maya Gago now getting a rest. Marika over to Wiley for another 3. This time she's short. Moans with the rebound. Comets running again. Lumberjills running with them. Inez Schmidt with a nice drive to the basket, but an equally nice block there by Gago as she came in. Kind of stripped her right as she was going up. Marika on top, over to Wiley's. Back to Marika. She's kind of commanding the top now with Maya on the bench. Layla goes baseline, doesn't draw anything. Comets come the other way. Inez Schmidt brings it coast to coast, high off the backboard. She gets it to go. Comets take the lead back. And it looks like the Lumberjills want to talk about it. For that, we're going to take a commercial break.
Everyone knows me as Maddie, but here, I'm Master Sergeant Hefner.
You can't stop this. Ha. So
This is my life in the Air National Guard.
let's go. You can't stop this. Never. Let's go.
Well, coaches laying out the groundwork for what they want their players to do. As this timeout winds to a close, 7 minutes, 22 seconds left. And this has been an excellent ball game. An excellent back and forth, high speed, high pressure game. Lumberjills with the ball, down by 1. Maya Gago back in the game. Wide open in the middle is Millen. She misses an easy one off the backboard, but she was wide open. Bailey Olson hustles down, fires a quick 3, comes up short. Ladysmith driving back right away. Comets are able to get back and set up this time. Marika Gago, the baseline, thinking about coming in. Turnaround jumper, no good. Bailey Olson with the rebound. As she brings it past half court, she's looking around this time. Inez Schmidt gets it, passes it over to Peyton Sievert. Sievert drives, throws it up, no good. Lumberjills, Lila Gago kicked out to her. She was hustling down the court, kind of slowed down, and then took it right to Schmidt. Schmidt did not get set quite quick enough, and that's her fourth. So Baraboo back in. Schmidt's going to take a break. Lila Gago around the outside, working up to the top of the key. She goes behind her back with the dribble. Bailey Olson with the strip. Pass it ahead to Aggie Schmidt. Aggie couldn't quite finish. Came up off the backboard, rolled off the rim. Didn't go. Comets hustle back on defense. Ladysmith sets up again. 6 minutes left, down by 1. Wiley's lost the handle for a second, and double dribbles the call. Comets with the ball, working it around. Aggie Schmidt over to Moens. Moens off the top, over to Olson. Baseline 3 down to Sievert. Works it back to the top to Olson. Comets working the ball around. Moens with the drive, over to Sievert. Back to Aggie Schmidt, who drives. Fouled on the way in. Well, and that could be a factor. That's 4 fouls on Marika Gago, which at halftime was her leading scorer. Definitely excellent player for the Lumberjills, and she sits on the bench with 4. So that could be a factor, but Schmidt's out as well. Whoa, Comets. Inbound, work it over to Moens. Moens has an open look from that spot, and she's hit 2 already. Make that her 3rd in the second half. Comets up by 4. Lumberjills working around, finds that spot underneath again. Millen been hanging around underneath there. She gets it for 2. Lumberjills back within 2. Aggie Schmidt, coast to coast again, slicing through the defense, untouched. Up off the backboard. A little bit of a lazy pass by Maya Gago, picked off by Bridget Moens. Moens the other way, finishes it. Ladysmith sees the way this game's going and calls a quick timeout. A full timeout for Ladysmith. 6-point lead for the Comets. And we'll be back right after this.
We keep you connected.
We spark young minds.
We keep you safe on the road.
We keep you healthy.
We respond when it matters most.
We are Northwood Tech.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
Okay, back in action. Ladysmith ball, working it around the outside again. Thinks about penetrating, nothing there. Tucker lost the handle, and Bailey Olson was all over it for the recovery. Comets with 4:26 on the clock, got a 6-point lead. And now they've extended the Ladysmith defense. Comets working it around the outside. Oh, they had a nice cutter. Bridget Moens on a beautiful cut, fed by Inez Schmidt, goes up. You could hear the hand slap up in the stands. She gets it to go and to the free throw line. So Tucker comes out of the game. Marika Gago back in. She's got 4. Moens completes the 3-point play. And the Comets with a 9-point lead. Maya Gago brings it down, works it over to Layla. She's looking to penetrate. Nice drive. Jump shot off the back. She did that one other time. She's got a very nice looking shot from that corner. Aggie Schmidt brings it down over to Moans. Down to the baseline, Baraboo. Not sure if they were trying to foul or not, but Millen with the foul on that one. She might have been going for the steal, I guess, but Moans was there and definitely a lot of contact. And we're in the bonus. So the next couple of fouls with Ladysmith, Cameron's going to go to the free throw line. For those not understanding the free throw line with 7 fouls, she gets 1 shot. If she makes it, she gets another. If they miss, you fight for the rebound. Heads up play there because as the ball was going out of bounds, Baraboo knew she couldn't get it. She put a slap on it, got it to hit off of Marika Gago, and out of bounds Ladysmith, Cameron ball. Cameron inbounds to Olsen. Olsen being patient on top. Time is the friend of the Comets right now. Baraboo thought about going inside. A lot of traffic. Kicked it back out to Schmidt. Over to Olsen. Up to Aggie Schmidt. Aggie over to Inez. Inez works it around on top to Bailey. Comet showing some patience, as they should at this point. Mullins looks to penetrate. Decides no. Over to Inez Schmidt. Into Aggie. Over to Bailey Olsen. Back to Aggie. Back to Inez. Inez thinks about going. No. Coach is starting to talk on this end. I think he's thinking we're going to have to foul sooner than later. Inez Schmidt on top. Over to Aggie. Aggie to Bridget Moans on top. Moans patient. Works it around to Schmidt. They're looking to set a screen. Over to Bailey Olsen. Bailey fires a 3. That was an air ball. Inez Schmidt tried to feed it inside. A hard pass picked off by the Lumberjills. Lumberjills come the other way. Layla Gago on top. She's had a couple nice drives on this left side and off the glass. She's going to be one to keep an eye on. Maya Gago out on top. Over to Marika. Marika out, good outside shooter, and she hits it. Marika for 3. Nice looking shot. It's a 4-point game. Schmidt patient on top. And timeout, Comets. Comets taking a full timeout there, so we are going to take you to a brief commercial. Coach Wanek seen something she didn't like going on the offensive end. She has the timeouts to use. She took one. Comets with a 4-point lead. They definitely want to protect the ball, but they're going to also want to score if possible. So I know the Comets have at least one more timeout. Ladysmith probably doesn't have to foul quite yet, but there is only 2 minutes left on the clock. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be pretty aggressive on trying to get the ball. Olsen to inbound. Comets with their original starting lineup in the game. The only one in foul trouble right now, I think, is Schmidt with 4. Moans in the top corner. Looks around. Ladysmith definitely extending their defense. Moans over to Schmidt, over to Bailey Olsen, on top to Schmidt again. Comet showing patience, kind of going to make Ladysmith foul if they want to. Down to 1:30 as Moans brings it around to Schmidt. Aggie thinks about driving, pulls back to Inez. Bailey Olsen looks to drive, kicks it back out to Aggie Schmidt. Aggie over to Inez. Inez cross-court pass to Bridget Moans. And Millen seen enough, fouls Bridget Moans. Bridget goes to the line. As we said before, this is foul number 8, so Bridget is shooting the 1-and-1. If she misses this first one, it's a rebound. If she makes it, she gets one more. And she makes the first one. So important on the bonus free throws. 1:16 left on the clock. Comets by 5. Nothing doing. Rebound. Inez Schmidt. Inez tried to go back up with it. Somebody must have got their hand on it. I thought it was going to be a foul. It's a jump ball, but it's still Comet ball. Bailey Olson to inbound. Out on top to Aggie Schmidt. Aggie works it around to Inez. I hear the coach saying right away he wants a foul. So I'm guessing it's going to happen pretty quick. Nice screen by Moans to Aggie Schmidt. Buying some time. Over to Aggie. Back to Bridget. Bridget on the baseline. Kind of hold it. Coach calling for the foul, and Wiley's produces it. Fouled Aggie Schmidt with 50 seconds left on the clock. We're at foul number 9, the last 1-and-1 foul. The next foul that they commit, Comets will get 2 free throws. Aggie Schmidt hits the first one. Again, very important. Comets up by 6, 50 seconds left on the clock. And Schmidt hits her second. Free throw is always important, but never more so than at the end of a game. Lumberjills down with it, try to fire the 3, and it looked like Aggie Schmidt got a hand on it. Wiley's was looking for the foul. The coach was looking for the foul. I got to be honest, I did not see it, and the refs didn't either. So the foul on Olson along the baseline. She gets 2. They're at 10. 40 seconds left. Bailey Olson hits her first. Comets with an 8-point lead. In and out on the second. Anna Baraboo gets a rebound, but tied up by Millen. This time, Lumberjills. Lumberjills coming down. Layla on top. Works it to Marika. Over to the baseline to Potasek. On top, a long 3 by Layla. Comes hard off the glass. Comets moving ahead. Coach calls them off and says no fouls. Moans might have to give up the ball or she might get called for 5 seconds. Well, at 11:20 left in this game, it was a tie ball game, and we had 5 lead changes in this second half. Comets end up coming out 62-54 with a big win, but you wouldn't have necessarily thought that at half. They were down 33-30, so a lot of changes made at halftime by both teams. Hats off to Coach Wanek, what she did in the second half. The girls came out and looked really well. Outscored the Lumberjills by 11 points in the second half. I know I've talked about it before, but at the end of the game, I'll let you know. Thursday night, it's at Cumberland. Last time the Comets faced them, they won 79-32. And Friday, just stay tuned with the weather. With the Chippewa Falls McDonald Central game. Chippewa Falls McDonald Central not letting up last year. They're 12-2 this year and ranked, I believe, number 10 in the state in their division. So always tough. I will be back with you next Tuesday night with the Northwestern Tigers in town. That's going to be a longer night. It's youth night. So we will have the youth recognized at halftime. And the girls will be sticking around afterwards, signing autographs on the team picture. Last time the Comets beat Northwestern up there 64-55, but Northwestern, like Ladysmith, is a very tough team. So, thanks for hanging around tonight. Thank the sponsors, and we will be back with you Tuesday, January 27th. Try and stay warm tonight. Stay safe. Have that extra stuff in your car. And have a good night.